Good morning, everybody. So, I have my Enchanted Ocean collection, and I have this 2D embossing folder from this collection, and I'm going to run this. I have seen a technique watching videos, and there's been several videos of this, and I am just in love with it if it works. Sheena did sort of the same thing on a Crafter's Companion show, and we might even try it her way after we try it this way. This way seemed a little bit easier, and so that's why I'm doing it. Do have to have an embossing. Do have to get this embossing to work, so I'm hoping that it's supposed to just be, this is for my switch, just this with the plates, and that's supposed to take care of it. We're going to try it. This adapter for the thinlits is not supposed to be necessary for these folders, so I'm not putting that in, and I'm just going to run it this way. I have had instances where I've had to add in, so we're going to see what happens with this, and then if we have to add in, we'll come back and add some in. So this is through my switch. Now let's see if I got the impression or not. Oh yeah, it did, it worked. So I don't know why that one didn't work. This did, and nicely it worked. Very nicely. Wow, that turned out really good, as a matter of fact. And I didn't even rip on my paper. Okay. So now in the first one I saw, and these are the inks that came with this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep this dark blue separate. And I'm going to turn this to the debossed side. I'm going to bring in my little rending brushes. And then we have to figure out what color we want to start with. And I'm going to start with this. And I might bring in some paper towels just so I can clean off my brushes a little bit. Make sure I'm not transferring color from the brush to the pad. And so we just want to bring in some color, and this is the debossed side. And so what I'm trying to do is get the color into those spots where these plants are. And I'm just gonna, I want it inside. I want to get down in there into the debossed image. And here. Now the one I watched, she only used light color. So I might be bringing in too much color, but we'll see how it works. I've never tried this before, and I saw it, and I thought, oh, we're gonna try that. That's what I thought. We've got to try that. I think. I'll do some green. Got my green blended brush. And, oh. And I'm not being real careful. What's another color I want to bring in? How about this one? This is going to be really colorful, huh? That'll be this color here, I think. I wish I remember who it was that had the video so you could go watch it if you wanted to. I'm saying this is all corally stuff and that's why I can get away with these colors. I don't know. But just for fun anyways, right? Maybe this one. Maybe I should have had all of them the same if they were the same bush. I don't know. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I might use this one instead for that background and use this blue here maybe for some of them. I was not really wanting to get in the bubbles. And what the lady I was watching, she did flowers, but I thought, oh, wouldn't that be pretty on that sea stuff, you know? So, all right, I think I'm going to leave that there, and we're going to give it a try. So she just then came in, and she didn't do it especially flat. Now, these might be too small. I don't really have like a square. So then she just ran this over and covered it up with the ink. See what it's doing? It's kind of working, but she had, her ink pad was real juicy, and so it really covered it well. I don't want to push too hard because I don't want to get it in to the flowers in the background. You just try and ink over this foreground and get it. You see why I wanted to do the blue. And maybe I can still too come in with that blue too. Maybe do like a mix. What do we think? And I could have done them all in one color. She did flowers, and she just did a little bit of yellow and orange and stuff like that. Let me come in with this color also and get some of these. Ooh, this one's a lot juicier. See how that's working? Now you'll use a lot of ink doing this. See where I got a little sloppy here. Because the other one worked so well, I wasn't doing quite as good as I should have with this one. And I got some of it in there. And you don't want to do that. You want to be careful and not get it in there. But look at that. Turned out good, huh? I mean, and easy. You saw how easy it was. Now I have a background. I could have done this side and done the plants and then the water, and the background would have no color. And that's what we're used to, right? So, you know, we're used to coming in and going over the tops of the embossed and ended up with something like this. But what a difference, right? I mean, I think it's wonderful. Now, the way that Sheena did it, let me bring this back in and cut the paper to size. I'll just use it this way. And then you gotta find the side. You gotta make sure that you're doing it on the embossed side. So where the background sticks out. So Sheena did that. And I think what she did, she taped it in. I'm not going to tape it in. But you're going to put the ink on the other side, the side with the background up is where you're going to put the ink. So you put the ink on. And then you ink it up. And basically do the letterpress method, but instead of having the color on the items, you put the color on the background. Flip it over, put it in, and send it through. Now she taped it because she was like, well, you don't want it slipping and sliding inside the thing. And, you know, she's right. You don't want to do that. So the sheen away, oh, a piece of it didn't go. It embossed, but it didn't end up on. Oh, that was the other reason to tape it, in case you needed to send it back through. But now, if you do it the sheen away, which is wonderful, it's pretty great. with the sheen away, yeah. Have we done this before this way? Was this not something new? But now you got to come in, and these are raised. So maybe I should have put it on this side. No, if I put it on this side, I'm going to be coloring the plants, not the background. So you color the background. I need to clean this now. I got to get that washed. I don't want it to stain it. I don't mind a little bit on there, but you can see the tint of the color on there. So this is the other direction. The other way, this way. Now I can't remember if Sheena did. But this way, you got to come and now and color in all of these raised. And I don't do so well with that. So let me just show you. Now I got to come and color these in. And that actually ended up pretty good. With the brush markers. Right. That actually worked out pretty good with the 2D folder. That wasn't as bad as I expected it to be with the brush marker. But if you go off, right? Whew, that's strong. But this was so easy to, I thought, look at the ink on my hands. I don't know if I would use these little ones normally. You know, I would probably go for something like this. So, and I kind of jacked that one up when I went back with that dark blue. So should we try another one? Should we try it again and see? Let me see what size this paper is. Yeah, this will work. I'm just gonna cut this. It's gonna come out even smaller, but I want this to be a little bit more, not have the pieces all messing around. I'm gonna try, this is flagstone. And I'm gonna try it real quick. Okay. So there we are. So let me come back in and I'll be a little bit more mild on the colors here. Let me go with green and the light blue, and I'll just maybe bring in some of this coral color. Oh, my paper towel, I need a new one. She was just putting down really light, but like I said, she was doing flowers and kind of like a daisy that's going to be white anyways. And then she went over it with a black. I'm thinking for some reason she was Stampin' Up, but I could be wrong. It was just something I happened to run across. It was like Blackout procedure or something, and I thought, let me see what that's about. Okay, now I need green. And I might not put quite as much color. Maybe I'll just do a light color. But you do want to get down in there. Down in that. Okay, now I think I'll go with the blue. Still might be too many colors, but okay, I think that's about done it. And I'm going to try coming in with this flagstone, but it's, and she says you got to be careful how you're putting it on. You don't want it completely flat, but you don't want it too tilted up. So it's just kind of I'm using a very light hand because I don't want to end up with this ink inside those. And this has a felt instead of the sponge. I thought that might work better. And I'm telling you, hers was solid, but she said she had just inked up her ink pads. So she definitely had a much more darker, solid black background. I mean, it looked like it was on black paper, is what it looked like. Mine, I'm holding this flat now. And she didn't have to keep going over it because it was very juicy what she had. But I kind of like the little empty bursts inside there, that cloudy look, but it's not quite that look. And I wanted to give you that look, but I guess I'm not going to get there. I guess we're going to have to be happy with this. You just need to make sure that the color that's the background is going to go over the colors because we weren't being careful, so we got color around it, and you could see one of these little cloudy things has that blue color to it. Okay. I'm just going to leave it at that before I make a mess of it. But there it is. I mean, is that not awesome and easy? And why didn't I ever think of that before? You know, it's one of those things. Why didn't I think of that before? So simple sitting here staring me in the face, right? Let me... cut this down. I need a card blank. Always measure according to my card blanks. So it should be 4 by 6. 4 by 6. So here we have 3.5. Let me straighten that a little bit. And I'm going to go to the 5.5. And now I know I got a 1/2 inch. I knew that wasn't straight. That's why I went a little bit. Oh. Boy, that didn't. That's not straight either, I don't think. Maybe it is. All right. See? How amazing. Let me get... Now maybe I'll use this bubble paper. Too much color on color, is it? Yeah. I got an order yesterday, but people were home, so I wasn't able to really do a video, so I'll do that later, but I wanted to do this. I didn't want to miss this. So I like this, but I think because I have that whole 1/2 inch that I also need to come in with some black. So I'm gonna do so let's look before we cut. Yep, I think so. Okay, so this needs to be 4x6. Let me get my paper cutter. And of course, I will do just under the 4x6. Not the side where. So I'll come just under because I don't like the overlapping. I found out one of the tips for paper cutting, and I just keep forgetting to do it, is wherever you have your paper butted up against, you actually should take your cutter to that butt up so your paper don't tweak. So if I was down here, I would bring my cutter this way. So for up here, I should always be going up, not down like I normally do. I just recently saw that tip somewhere. And what I should have done is paid more attention. Oh, I gotta cut this one too. So I'm gonna go 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. So either way, I know that this paper is going to be long enough this way. So to cut the smallest piece off of my sheet here, I'm cutting it at the 3 3/4. Wonder if I should come down a little bit. Yeah. Let me come to that mark right there by the and the half. That might be wrong too. Maybe I need to kind of put it at the bottom side of the 3/4. My 5 and the bottom size of the 3/4. So I want to go up to where it's butted up against. It seems to work. So now I should have some pretty decent layers. What do you think? I'm happy with it. And then that'll go on my card blank. Right? So that'll give us that. Okay. So let me get my glue. Let me see if my fine... See, it keeps pulling that out. So this is the second one that I bought of this. And I had trouble with the first one. Now I'm having trouble with that one. So I won't. Although I love the fact that it's got a big top and you're not going to lose that top. What good is it if it doesn't work? And I don't know. Like with diamond press, their stuff is so good. Normally, I didn't ever think that would have been an issue. So it bothers me. I don't know if it's something I'm doing, but yeah, I want you to know that. That is my second one that I had to buy because the first one messed up. I think it did the same thing. I could be wrong. I could have. It could be that it clogged up for some reason. When it did that, I remember thinking, oh no, not this one too. So, okay, so this is the textured cardstock. So you want the smoother side or the more textured side. On the Crafter's Companion linen, the smoother side still has quite a bit of texture. So, I do like the glue, the diamond press glue. I wish that fine tip, and this is a good tip still. It's not, real big anyways. But the fine tip is what I really wanted it for, because with those other bottles with the pin, I always lost that pin right off the bat. So what I did do is I had one where I just put a bow on it and I kept it for a long time. That bottle just ended up being, I lasted a long time. And those you get more than one when you buy them. They send you a whole bunch of them. It's because they really don't last all that long, but it did last a long time. Well, it's here. But I think I let it dry. But see how I put that little bow on there? See, I let it get too dry. I think that's what happened. And no, the glue's moving. That might still be good, actually. We might try it here in a minute. So the way she did it with the flowers, it was enough, and she didn't need nothing else on there, and she just put a sentiment on there, and that was it. Sun is up. Yay. But I'm going to say that for this one, it's not enough, because it's definitely a background. So what I'm going to do, what did I do with the, here it is. Put this away. And I'm going to go through and pick a die. I just want a simple die. Maybe that. Maybe we'll just cut out a mermaid to go in there. And this is the one that's supposed to be good for the film. Wow, she is a big mermaid. Let's do... I didn't expect her to be so big. There's that mermaid. Here's the background. So she's going to fit on there and take up a big portion of it. I'm going to use some special paper for the back. You know what would be nice is that silver. Now, they use the illusion film, right? Maybe I can do that without molding it together. Let's see. Let's do this one. Oh, no. I'm going to do the blue one. The blue film. But I'm just going to do, it's not going to show. Okay, what is this one going to show? Finding out what we can do with this collection, right? That's, yeah, it's just too see-through, I think. I don't want it to glint. Different colors, just, maybe I will use this. Okay. I'm just gonna cut. I probably should do, you know, if you weld it like they say to do, then it probably isn't an issue. But I'm not welding it. Oh, head knows. Iron right now out within easy access, so. And it's not heated, and I'm not having y'all wait for that, so we'll just go ahead and we're gonna cut this out. And so I have my plates. This is my cutting one, so I'm gonna put this down and this way. We're gonna find out how well these cut here in just a second, huh? Because it's very thin. I wonder if I should just stick a piece of paper in there. That's not big enough. I might just... I'm just gonna get some kind of scrap here and put it back behind. She barely fits on there, and that kind of kills me because, not kills me, makes me think, what were they thinking? Because supposedly these dies were kind of made to be used with this film. That can't be the case if you can barely fit it on there. Okay, so I have my platform and the adapter. And I'm going to put this through. I'm thinking this machine is going to be a little tough using the crop at home because, but hopefully I can have a lot of it cut before we even get there. Okay, let's see how it did. It actually cut them both, and I might do that so that we can see the colors come through. I might leave them both together. Thing is, will they stick without being glued? Okay, and then I want to cut her out These pieces are not gonna stay together. So they're gonna have to be pieced on here. I don't know how well this is gonna work, I think. Okay. So platform back in, adapter in, and it's going through. Oh, so this also has to be used with this. What was I thinking? I should have known that. This is why it's easier usually to do this with the two dies together. Oh, baby, start. Baby's waking up this morning. How about that? I just had them pieces sitting, so that was good. Well, if they want to stick, it's good. If they don't want to stick, maybe not so good. All right. It's like bobbing. So the Sizzix switch has a support in the front for the base and stuff, but not in the back. So you got to catch it as it comes out. And because there's no support, and I know it's just kind of bobbing up and down, it's funny. I got everything. There we go. To tape off. So this, oh, that looks very pretty. Okay. Oh, we were gonna try the fine bottle and see if this is working, huh? No, it's not coming out. It's got a clog somewhere. I'll come back and work with it later. See if I can get it going. All right, so I want glue around the edges. All this outlining stuff is all a good spot. Because it's a little bit thicker. The bigger spots. There's birds outside singing. And I think that's what baby's responding to. Okay. Can you hear it? Like I cut her hand off a little bit. I didn't get all her hand. So what I'm going to do is just come in and cut that a little. So you'll probably still notice, but it won't. I got ink on her too from the ink on my hands, so be careful with that. I've got glue coming out, so you'll want to watch for that. Okay, now that I've got that stuck on here, that white paper helped with that because it gave me more support. But now see, these don't want to come apart. But I'm afraid if I don't get glue in some spots that it won't stay together. So let me show you what it looks like without the white, and then we'll stick some glue and get it. I think it looks better with the white. You can see the colors and stuff better and see through. So just some of these spots I'm just gonna stick glue, just little bits. I'm not gonna worry about gluing it all up. I'm just hitting some of these bigger spots so it stays stuck together. I think it looks way better with the white behind it. Brings the color out better. Now she can go on here. I think I'll anger her. I think I'll anger her. I'm gonna anger the mermaid. She needs a little bit of glue right there. Now I can. Especially with this being an embossed background, you really want to be able to get good glue on there. So it's good that the white is there. You also want to use probably a liquid glue because it gets down in there. Or if you're using a tape, it might not so much. What do you think? Well, she looks, she's got quite a few layers. And then with it being embossed, she really looks like, almost like she's on some kind of a dimensional. Looks good. So We could add some gems. We need some kind of a sentiment. I would probably put that down here. I mean, she could be even more over. I'm not gonna, could have more angled her and put her over so we had more room for a sentiment, but there we go. I like the technique. This is the Sheena one. I don't know why it didn't take here. I probably could just run it back through. A little bit harder to color in, right? Because now you got to be more mindful. This was just a breeze with the brushes and ink. You just have to be more mindful when you come back through this way, but that one worked real good. So, what do you think? I was a little bit of why did I buy this collection? What was I thinking? I shouldn't have watched the show because they always talk me into things. And I'm kind of happy I did. I'm really, ooh, look at that. I'm really enjoying the collection. So, there we go. Awesome. All right, everybody. If you like my videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. And everybody, please have a blessed day. And it looks gorgeous outside right now. All right. Bye-bye.